So I'm going to show you why I dislike this method of storing your power cord. Today it's about 35 degrees, so this cord is pretty stiff and non-flexible. So when you stuff it in there, you almost have to get the cord to coil up how it would naturally coil. Otherwise, it just ends up being this big, massive mess inside, and it just doesn't want to cooperate when you stuff it in the hole. Welcome back, everybody. So I've got my RV in my shop, and I'm going to do some more upgrades to it. Moved it in here a few days ago to get it out of the snow. Actually, I moved it in before it started to really snow a lot. But here we are. So it's a removable shore power cord inlet. It lets you use a marine style power cord, which is a twist lock configuration. It's kind of difficult to get that open with that anyway. Grab and hold. Here we go. And the advantage to this is you don't have a power cord that you have to stuff through a little hole into a little storage cubby hole or storage compartment. And they make this in white also. This is the left side of the RV. Here's my original shore power cord, and you've got to stuff it in this little cubby hole. And if you're camping in the woods or whatever, it's always a good idea to stuff a piece of foam or a rag or something in here so critters don't crawl up and get inside. I have actually had that happen once. A squirrel crawled up here and tried to go inside, and he chewed up a bunch of the insulation, so I ended up having to replace the entire cord. So what I've done here is put a piece of tape right where the edge of this, there's a wall stud right behind here. So here's one edge, here's the other edge, and it's right there. I used a stud finder to figure out where the edges were, and then I've taken this piece of tape, lined it up with the top, this piece of tape, lined it up with the bottom. So this is all free wall space, and the side of this port lines up perfectly with right about where that wall stud is. So I think what I'm going to try and do is center the new port vertically between the top and bottom of these two pieces of tape, and then mount it as close to this as I can. Over on this side, the compartment only extends back about this far, so there really isn't room to mount this over here. It is better to mount it over here. So next what I'll do is measure the center, and this is 6.5 inches. So we're going to go 3 1/4. And move this ruler over here and measure 3 1/4 again. Yeah, it might be tough to see my pencil line, but it's right through the center here. Next thing I'll do is get an idea and mark where I want the center of the hole. What we're going to do is use a 2 3/4 inch hole saw to drill that hole with. I'm going to use a light, shine down right on top here so I can see where the center of my pilot drill bit goes. Without that light, I really can't see where the line is. So here we go. Kind of a scary proposition, drilling a hole through the side of your RV. And since we've got that wall stud right back here, I'm going to take this insulation, and there's actually a wall stud right down here. I don't think I ever thought to measure where that was, and I don't feel one up above. Just kind of stuff this insulation off to the side. Go ahead and insert this and try to keep your drill as square as possible. Then we're going to drill through the inside wall paneling. And I should have mentioned to make sure that your power cord is all the way pulled out, so that as you're drilling you don't end up hitting the power. And then we can kind of pull the insulation back a little bit. Probably just pull a chunk of it off and sort of manipulate it around inside there, so we fill the gap down here and fill up this side again. The easiest way to reconfigure all of this wiring, let's make sure you're unplugged from shore power, is going to be just to cut this cord off, probably about right there. I've got it pulled all the way out. Let's just go ahead and cut this. Before I install the wire, what I'm going to do is slip this into the hole and mark my mounting holes. I'll just try to get it centered in the hole here. I've got my holes marked out, so I'm going to go ahead and drill them. And for starters, I'm just going to drill one hole and then slide the inlet into place, put a screw in it part way, and then get my other two screws marked. I have all of them marked, but I don't want to drill the other two until I get the inlet, and then I can make sure the others are exactly where they need to be. I'm using a number 8 3/4 inch long screw, a square drive. Okay, those two look good. I'll go ahead and pull this out. And then I'll come back with my 1/8 inch drill bit and enlarge the holes. And now we're ready to hook up the wires. We want to stick our gasket in place first, and our back covering. And when you insert the wires, just make sure that they're bottomed out in the hole as far as they'll go when you tighten down the screw. It'll slide our back covering forward, and then I will install the clamp. I'm going to go ahead and poke my screws through the holes to get them threaded through the flange here. And for the ultimate weatherproof seal, you probably might want to do away with this little foam gasket and use some butyl rubber putty instead, which is probably what I'll do once the weather warms up come springtime. And then what I would also do is run a bead of Proflex RV sealant around the perimeter of the flange. That's what the factory has done here. And there we have it. So go ahead and remove the tape. I'll get some window cleaner or something and clean off my pencil lines. Welcome back, everybody. So we've got my RV here. I'm gonna do some more upgrades to it today. What I'm gonna do, change the battery in my camera first.